Hello, Pally.
Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2019.
And InFocus starts right now. Information on the various hygiene drives going on around campus.
Updates on the Mueller report and the consequences of it.
And Thayer Kacher meets with student-athlete Henry Saul.
All that and more is coming up on today's show.
Welcome to InFocus. I'm Nur Navaid.
And I'm Anushka Sharma.
There's a lot going on around campus.
Here's some important announcements from today's campus bulletin.
Next week is Change in Our Schools Week, which aims to bring the Pally community together through a variety of themes and events throughout the week. The themes for each day are up on the screen, and the quad will be full of activities as well as performances for students to enjoy. Additionally, sports boosters will be selling Pally gear on the quad during lunch next Tuesday as a part of CIOS Week. Prices can be found on their website. The Social Justice Pathway is having a hygiene drive for the homeless around the Palo Alto community. Some ideas for products to donate are up on the screen. Anyone can drop off their donations to room 215 and 805 from April 29th to May 3rd.
The 7th Youth Speaks Out exhibition is showing at the Palo Alto Art Center. The Art Center is located at 1313 Newell Road, and the event runs through Friday. Service Day is coming this Monday, and students will be excused from class to go out and volunteer at sites. And the Key Club will host an on-campus activity during lunch on the quad. The Palo Alto Teen Advisory Board, Palo Alto Youth Council, and Teen Arts Council are hosting Palooza on Friday, April 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Mitchell Park Community Center.
Moving on now from what's going on around campus to what's happening in the world and locally today.
Let's take a look at what's topping today's headlines in today's News Minute.
According to Robert Mueller's newly released report, President Trump did try to obstruct justice, but his efforts failed because officials did not follow his orders. According to the report, McGahn did not follow through with the president's request. It says he instead prepared to resign over the order. McGahn eventually left the White House last fall. Mueller wrote that McGahn did not follow Trump's order because he did not want to trigger a potential Saturday night massacre. The phrase calls back to 1973 when President Richard Nixon called for the special prosecutor in the Watergate investigation to be fired, and the Attorney General and his deputy instead resigned.
The American company Apple has pledged to help rebuild the damaged parts of Our Lady of Paris, the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Apple will be donating to rebuilding efforts to help restore Notre Dame's precious heritage for the future. Apple is one of 4 major contributors to help rebuild funds for Notre Dame.
Closing back in on the Bay Area, gun shows at the Cow Palace in Daly City will officially be banned starting on January 1st, 2020. That vote came down Tuesday morning. Senator Weiner is the author of a bill which called for an end of gun shows at the facility. The San Mateo County Board of Supervisors has called for ending gun show at the Cow Palace since 2014. When InFocus comes back, we will get a blast from the past with Max Bonstetter.
And we will get up to date with all the latest in Pally sports news.
InFocus will be right back.
So that's $12. What would you spend that $12 on if you didn't have to spend it on this?
Something to eat.
And every day I wake up and I do my daily routine because nobody wants to smell, you know?
It's only a few minutes, like a couple of minutes. I've always just used like paper towels or toilet paper or something like that.
Towels.
Cotton balls work, makeup pads.
I've used socks.
I had an old tank top that was bleached and I stripped it.
I had to go rinse it out, squeeze it out, dry it, put it back, like 4 times that day.
I have nowhere to shower daily. I have nowhere to keep work clothes. It's not as easy as get a job.
Welcome back. The danger of earthquakes is a reality for those who live in the Bay Area.
And Max Bonstetter is here to tell us about one of the biggest quakes to shake the Bay Area. Max?
That's right, Anushka. At 5:13 a.m. in the year 1906, an earthquake estimated at close to 8.0 on the Richter scale struck San Francisco, California, killing hundreds of people as it toppled numerous buildings. The quake was caused by a slip of the San Andreas Fault over a segment about 275 miles long. The quake caused a gas line in San Francisco to break, and eventually starting the Great Fires. By April 23rd, most fires were extinguished, and authorities commenced the task of rebuilding the devastated metropolis. It was estimated that some 3,000 people died as a result of the Great San Francisco earthquake and the devastating fires it inflicted upon the city. Almost 30,000 buildings were destroyed, including most of the city's homes and nearly all of the central business district.
Thanks for that, Max. Track season is wrapping up soon.
Track team member Henry Saul, who recently committed to the Yale track team, has been having a great season.
Here's more on one of Pally's most accomplished runners.
Track and cross country are both popular sports at Pally. Henry Saul is an elite athlete at Pally. He specializes in cross country and track and field and has done well with the fastest mile time on both teams. Every athlete has to start somewhere, with Saul's being unexpected.
I guess I started in middle school in 8th grade. It's kind of a funny story. There's actually this girl that I liked, and she wanted to run every day after school with me. So I was like, yeah, let's do this. And then suddenly I realized I was pretty fast.
Unlike other sports at Pally, track and field provides various events for competitors. Henry Saul's favorite event is the 2-mile run.
It's something it's really exhilarating. There's something about the final end, just kind of you and that other guy that you're next to, and just who wants it more, and I really like that.
In order to reach the level he has now, he had to have a certain motivation to compete as hard as he does.
It hurts a lot, but there's something about it, just kind of the pure, competition aspect. It's just, you and the other guys, and you're just kind of throwing yourself at it for so long, and it's just kind of a rare experience, and you feel alive.
Over his running career, he has achieved many accomplishments, but there's one that stands alone.
When I got into Yale for track.
Next fall, Saul is going to be attending Yale University. He wants to bring many attributes to the team.
Well, I kind of think of myself, as kind of a more fun guy, even though, I really put down my head and work hard when I need to. So, I really hope to kind of bring, almost more of a fun atmosphere, but also, a lot of hard work when it needs to come in. And yeah, and I really hope to be on the starting team and really score points, next year as a freshman. That's my goal. I just want to improve myself and, do the best that I can do.
For people starting track, Saul has some strong and simple advice.
Work hard. The kids that are consistent and that work hard every single day, at least on the distance teams, are always the ones I see on varsity at the end of the year.
Saul will be remembered as a talented and hard-working runner. For InFocus, I'm Thayer Kacher.
Thanks for that great story, Thayer.
Unfortunately, track had their last dual meet on Tuesday, but there are still a few championship meets left to watch Pally athletes in action.
Absolutely, and Trey Bishoping is in the studio now with the latest in Pally sports news.
Is one of those championship games today?
Unfortunately not, but there are plenty of other games to attend. With that, let's get right into today's sports report. We have only one score to report before getting on to today's games. The boys varsity volleyball team swept Gunn last night 3-0. Today, boys varsity golf is at home playing against Los Gatos at 3 p.m. The badminton team is away at Saratoga with JV and varsity facing off at 3:45. And finally, girls varsity softball is away at Haker High School at 4 p.m. That's all for me. Back to you.
Thanks, Trey.
Hey, Nora, are you enjoying the warm weather in the mornings?
I am. I even dressed up for it. I'm so happy. But I tend to pay more attention to the morning classes with the sun being brighter.
I do as well. Our meteorologist, Thayer Kacher, is in the studio now with today's weather report.
What can we expect out there, Thayer?
Well, looking at today's temperature, we have a high of 81 degrees and a low of 54. Shouldn't see any rain today, with no rain continuing Friday and Saturday. Now looking into next week, we can see the temperatures really rising with a high of 82 on Tuesday and a low of a high of 78 on Monday. The lows will remain in the high 40s to mid 50s. Now looking at today's temperatures, we can see the temperatures staying around 80 degrees all throughout the bay, with the lows being in the high 40s and low 50s. Well, that's all for me. Back to you.
Thanks, Thayer. Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.